anchor Don Lemon was arrested late last night.
Don Lemon was arrested last night on federal charges stemming from a protest at a Minnesota church earlier this month.
Federal agents took him into custody last night in Los Angeles, where he was covering the Grammys.
Don Lemon exited the federal courthouse this afternoon, ready to fight and defend his rights as a journalist. This is a violent infringement of Don Lemon's First Amendment rights.
I spent my Hi everyone. Hey. I know my people. Hey. Hey y'all. So a little bit different tonight because with an increasing amount of ownership. Yeah, and consolidation, not just increasing amount, but consolidations by the same companies.
Right. And so when you see, like I saw, for instance, people who are journalists applauding the fact, or supposed to be journalists, applauding the fact that you were arrested and indicted. How does that make you feel?
I need the questions, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, thank you. I left it in the green room, sorry.
He even talked like he went to jail, don't he?
They're trying to figure out what I'm
bringing my questions, bitch. Oh my God. Now I got a tattooed teardrop right now.
You know, you texted me that. You said, I got a present for you. What did you say to me? I forget. You remember the text? You said, what? Oh, you said, what do you need?
Yeah.
And I said, a handcuff key. And you said, I got to give them something about a teardrop. Thank you very much.
I don't think the situation you find yourself in is very funny, but I'm because personally I'm hurt by the fact that someone like you would be in this position. But I'm also hardened by the fact that they picked the right motherfucker to do it, man. And where we are now isn't where we started off. Like we didn't necessarily like each other, understand each other. I was like,
did y'all know that?
No. I was like, fuck this motherfucker. And then he got fired, like, that's my nigga right there. And then he went to jail. I love you so much right now. I was gonna put money on your books, man. Get you a little commissary, baby, help me. But because we actually talked, your mother and Jazz, who works on the show with me, said that we should talk and we probably find some common ground. And when I talked to you, I was like, I'm not ashamed to admit when I was wrong. But I do think that when the CNN let you go and they let you free to become this right here, and I don't ever wish bad on anybody, but you weren't released, you were elevated. That's it. I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, look, all of it is not, I think that, all of it wasn't easy, right? But I think that, I do believe, and I know people say, I wish he wouldn't give me so much. I do believe that the Lord doesn't give you more than you can handle. And so I think he's given me all of this. So in some way, I guess I can handle it. I'm just gonna try to keep calm and carry on. And I am a person of faith. So, and by the way, I wrote a book, if you guys care to buy it, it's on faith in God. It's called I Once Was Lost, My Search for God in America, and you will learn about my faith. So I do believe that. And then I also think about, in these times, I think about what my sisters, who were just 5 and 7 years apart from me, our experiences in the world were completely different within those 5 years. They were like 1959 and 1961 for my sisters, and I was 1966. And in that time of growing up, it was the change. Like there was in my town segregated schools, and an integrated school had just opened when my sisters went to school. And by the time I came around, my parents could afford to send me to Catholic school, because that's what you do in the South if you want your kid. Back then, you want your kid to have a good education. And so I think about what they went through, and then I think about the people before, my mom who had to walk to school, segregated schools, couldn't eat at the local stores, and all of that stuff. And the people who had dogs sicked on them and hoses, and I think about that, and I say, this is nothing. And they had less agency, fewer resources, than I do, and that any of us does. And I think that comfort is a poison right now.
It
Because
is.
people get
Yes.
so comfortable,
Yes.
and they want to, I want to be able to afford my, cushy lifestyle. I understand that to a certain extent, but there comes a time when you have to put some of that aside, the comfort part aside.
Whether you want to or not, though.
Exactly. Whether you want to or not,
People
or you're going to be forced to in a way that you have no control over.
Like a great comic who I love a lot, he always said this: everybody get their nigga wake up call. Everybody.
It's true, but let me just tell you this. One of my friends who is it's not my counsel, but a very prominent attorney, when I told him that what my attorney had done and reached out to them and said self-report, all right, I'm going to say something, and why they wouldn't do it, and he said, Don, they gave you the nigger treatment.
Yeah.
Ooh, Jesus.
And that was on purpose.
Yeah. Of course. People don't seem to realize I was born in 1964. I'm the very first one of my mother's children that was born with the full rights of American citizen. So it's an interesting place we find ourselves in. And I think, like when I watch what's happening now, I can't help but remember the fact that when I see brown people and black people being herded and windows busted out and carted away, you have to remember that 50%, almost 50% of the black population decided that this is something they wanted. And it's unavoidable. They thought, well, they're going to take the criminal, but what people don't seem to realize your skin is your crime. Right? It is. They're not asking you, are you one of the good ones?
Right.
But they think they're one of the good ones.
Yeah. I never thought that, but
But they think they're one of the good ones, but they get the wake up. Everybody, look, I obviously look at the position that I'm in right now. Look at the predicament that I'm in right now. I'm obviously very supportive of my brown friends, Latinos, immigrants, right? Because this is what the country is about.
Right.
But it's unavoidable to talk about the people who were co-opted by this administration and didn't think it was going to happen to them. And you had these people out there, you guys saw it, oh my God, I will vote for Donald Trump. And then and then you hear on the other side, oh my God, they took my husband. And you're like, oh.
when you say vote, how can you vote?
How can you vote? B-O-A-T, that's B-O-T-E.
When you say vote, you're going to find yourself unwanted.
And so that happened, but I don't understand. I just talked about that a little bit. I don't understand how brown people can be part of ISIS, and they are. Or black people can be part of not ISIS, ICE. Sorry, and they are.
What's the difference?
And they are. I don't understand that. I don't understand how they can be supportive of this administration. I think maybe it's just a natural instinct to you come in and you want to close.